I'd like to call this January 15th meeting of the Newport News City Planning Commission to order. My name is Lynn Spratley. I am the attorney for the Planning Commission, and I am acting as the acting chair today because the term of the previous Planning Commissioner chair, Michael Taylor, expired at the end of 2024. So today, the Planning Commission will elect new officers, but until that, we will begin with our agenda, which will begin with the creed by Commissioner Shook.
The Newport News Planning Commission is mandated by state law, and its members are appointed by City Council. Section 15.2, TAC 2210 of the Code of Virginia states, in part, that every locality shall create a planning commission in order to promote the orderly development of the locality and its environment. The statutory purpose is to improve the public health, safety, convenience, and welfare of the citizens, and to plan for the future development of the communities. In serving this statutory purpose, the Commission invites the comments at the public hearing of its interested citizens of matters before it and welcomes your presence. Chairperson Taylor, I move that we adopt the agenda before us.
Second.
That's
Chairperson's correct.
That's okay.
Sorry.
Acting chair.
Acting chair.
That's
Sorry.
fine.
Yeah.
There was a motion and a second. Is there any discussion? Hearing none, please call the roll, Ms. Brown. Or excuse me, we'll just say all in favor.
Aye.
Okay, any opposed? All right, the ayes have it. The agenda is hereby adopted. We'll now have the invocation by Commissioner Woodard.
Might we pray? Eternal God, we thank you for the opportunity to lead, the opportunity to plan, the opportunity to cast a vision for our city. Pray that you're with us in the midst of this meeting. Amen.
Amen.
Amen. Thank you. Now we'll have our Pledge of Allegiance led by Commissioner Dias.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay, we'll now move forward with the election of officers. The first officer that I will open the floor for nominations in reference to is the chairperson, office of chairperson. Are there any nominations?
I nominate Mr. Taylor.
I'll second it.
Okay, there's been a nomination, a second. Are there any other nominations? Hearing none, I'll close the floor for nominations. And Ms. Brown, will you please call the roll?
Commissioner Bowditch,
4.
Commissioner Woodard,
4.
Commissioner Williams,
4.
Commissioner Shook,
4.
Commissioner Stachel,
4.
Commissioner Dias,
4.
Commissioner Taylor.
4.
Motion unanimous, 7-0.
Awesome. Congratulations, Mr. Taylor. Once again, you'll take the seat, and I'll relinquish it to you.
Thank you so very much. We'll ask all the commissioners to shift to your left and right. Please bring your name tag with you. Name plate, sorry. I'll take Lynn's. I want to first say thank you to my fellow commissioners for electing me for another year, and thank you, Attorney Spratley, for your great leadership.
Thank you.
I now open the floor for the elections of the vice chair. Any nominations?
I nominate Philip Shook to be vice chair.
I'll second it.
Okay, it's been moved and properly second. Any other nominations? Hearing none, call roll, please.
Commissioner Woodard,
4.
Commissioner Williams,
4.
Commissioner Shook,
4.
Commissioner Stachel,
4.
Commissioner Dias,
4.
Commissioner Bowditch,
4.
Commissioner Taylor.
4.
Motion unanimous, 7-0.
Congratulations.
And thank you, the rest of the commission, for electing me.
Great. Now we can get back to the business before us again. We have, let's talk in regards to the minutes. Everyone have received a copy of the minutes from the December 18th Planning Commission meeting. Any issues, concerns, or enhancements? Hearing none, I'll just open the floor to all in favor of acceptance of the minutes from last year.
Aye.
Any opposing? The minutes is accepted from last year, December 18th meeting. The first item, I would like to first declare the public hearing open. Let me first declare the public hearing open, and the first item before us is CU, conditional use permit CU 2024, tag 0012. It's Rick Trevilla and Cindy Macklin and the Smith contract, and it's a conditional use permit, and it's going to be presented to us by Saul Garcia. Happy New Year, Saul, and welcome back.
Happy New Year. Thanks. It's good to be back. So, good afternoon. As you said, application CU 2024-0012 is by Rick J. Tavilla and Cindy T. Macklin, who are the owners of the property, and W.M. Smith Contracting, LLC, who is the applicant. They are requesting a conditional use permit for the construction and operation of a small contractor's office. The property is located at 12618 Warwick Boulevard, and it contains 1.21 acres. North of the property are a KFC and Taco Bell restaurant and BCA Boulevard Animal Hospital on property zone C1 retail commercial, and single-family homes on property zone R3 single dwelling. East, we have the Newport News Commons apartments on property zone R7 medium density multiple family dwelling. South, there is a barber shop on property zone C1 retail commercial, and west we have the Price to Go retail, a vacant property, and Dean and Don's Market on property zone C2 general commercial. The adopted One City, One Future 2040 Comprehensive Plan land use map identifies neighborhood commercial uses for this property. The property has been zoned C1 retail commercial since the citywide comprehensive rezoning became effective on August 1st, 1997. A small contractor's office is permitted in the C1 retail commercial district with the approval of a conditional use permit. The business plan states that the operation will employ 7 to 10 people, and there will be no large commercial vehicles on the site. Transitional buffer areas are required when commercial zoning districts abut residential districts. A 20-foot wide transitional buffer area is required when abutting multiple family residential districts, which occurs along the eastern property line. A 30-foot wide transitional buffer area is required when abutting single-family residential districts, which occurs on a portion of the northern boundary line. Both transitional buffer areas are identified on the conceptual site plan. The site regulations require a 16-foot landscape strip along Warwick Boulevard. The landscape strip is appropriately identified on the site plan. All commenting departments had no objections to this request. W.M. Smith General Contracting holds a Virginia Class C contractor's license and currently operates out of Hampton. The applicant is proposing to purchase the property on Warwick Boulevard and build a new 2,500 square foot building with parking and storage, with 2 sheds behind the new building. The architecture of the proposed building is complementary to the commercial and residential buildings on the abutting properties. The proposed structure will be situated in approximately the same area as the previous building on the property was. The applicant has stated that the office hours of operation are going to be Monday through Friday, 8 a.m. to 5 p.m., and they will have 3 to 4 of their 10 employees working in this office. The proposed location is desired by the applicant in order to take advantage of the greater visibility along the Warwick Boulevard corridor. High visibility, while beneficial for the business, also creates a potential for greater impact of the proposed use on the area. The proposed storage area located to the rear of the new structure will be limited to the portion of the property that does not abut residential uses to minimize any intrusion of noise and dust. Additionally, the storage area will be screened with a 6-foot privacy fence to obstruct any view of materials and equipment from surrounding properties. The business plan states that 3 company vehicles, 5 enclosed trailers, and a skid steer will be stored on the property, in addition to small equipment and materials ordered for specific jobs. Further, it states that there will be no large commercial vehicles or equipment located on the property. The applicant proposes to retain the existing vegetation along the rear portion of the property, supplementing that with any required vegetation within the transitional buffer areas. The proposed landscape street along Warwick Boulevard will enhance the property frontage and screen the proposed parking area from the roadway. In addition, a monument-style sign will be installed. In conclusion, the proposed location can accommodate the proposed small contractor's office with minimal impact to the Warwick Boulevard corridor or surrounding properties. The small contractor's office use is consistent with the recommendation of the One City, One Future 2040 Comprehensive Plan. Hence, it is recommended that Planning Commission recommends to City Council approval of conditional use permit CU 2024-0012 for the construction and operation of a small contractor's office at 12618 Warwick Boulevard with 15 conditions that include a Class 1 site plan shall be submitted to and reviewed by the Site Plan Review Committee and approved by the Director of Planning. A landscape plan, which is in conformance with the requirements of the zoning ordinance site regulations, as well as this permit, shall be submitted to and approved by the Director of Planning. The applicant shall submit to the Department of Planning building elevations and exterior building materials to be reviewed and approved by the Director of Planning prior to the issuance of a building permit. Only one freestanding sign shall be permitted on the property. Outside storage of materials and supplies shall be prohibited. No self-propelled or towed vehicle with a gross vehicle weight greater than 10,000 pounds shall be stored on the property. All other standard conditions also apply. All 15 conditions are detailed in the staff report and will be part of the ordinance if approved by council. Are there any questions?
I have a question. I've always wondered about this.
Yes, go
piece
ahead,
of-
Katie.
Oh, I'm sorry. I've always wondered about this piece of property. What happens to the area that's in front? Who owns that? That area that's in the front, and there's sort of a drive that goes through there?
It's the area that's right adjacent to Warwick, that's really
Yeah.
right on
City
Warwick.
right away.
That's city right of way.
It
Yeah,
stays-
when Warwick was changed, don't forget Warwick Boulevard has been moved.
Right.
So
Right.
when it was moved, that's just additional right
Because there's
of way.
that odd sort of drive that
Yeah.
goes through it,
Right.
and that will stay.
Yes,
The drive that goes through it to.
The right-of-way,
The
that
right
kind
of
of,
way will stay to this property. The right of way area that's to the north goes to the veterinary's office. The
yeah, there are
veterinarians.
two driveways.
Yeah,
yeah, it's
so-
very strange.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's an odd shape because of
Yeah.
the way the road was constructed.
And
And
this
then that
one
road that
kind
kind
of
of,
goes like that.
it's, it's kind of like a leftover drive.
Correct, so,
If you look at the site plan on A4 in your
Yep,
appendix,
yep.
Yeah.
it's
I
a
see
little
their
clearer.
drive, and I see the veterinarian's drive, but there's a drive that goes through, I guess, the right-of-way property.
Yeah, that's not going to be there. That's basically a walkway that people have used and created a path. It's
across.
not really a drive. It's not a drivable
Well, we used to,
driveway.
when the dog place was there, the people would drive.
Yeah. Iowa Park.
Yeah, it's not.
Yeah, no, that's going to be repaved and you will have only one
Okay.
drive.
So that's not their because I see where their property line is, and I see that leftover piece, so that's actual still city property, part of the
It
right-of-way.
is right of way, yeah.
It's a deep right-of-way, okay.
Yes, sir.
Just
Commissioner
a
Williams.
point of information, are the owners of the adjoining homes notified in cases like this?
Yes,
Okay, and no feedback?
We had one call when it was first mailed to them, and I couldn't tell you exactly which house it was, but they were on Winter Haven Drive, and they said that was, they just wanted to know why. They got a letter saying there was a case.
And the fence is going to go all the way around the property,
Is it?
All three sides, correct?
Is it going to go around the whole property or just the area that's going to be developed?
the three sides, looks like
Three
three
sides.
The
sides.
three sides?
Yeah, there's a gate where the building is, if you notice, and the applicant is here and perhaps can further explain, but there's a gate behind the dumpster area and then the fence will go around the area of the storage yard.
Which is behind the main building?
Which is
Yes.
behind the building.
Okay.
So it won't go around the front,
Right.
obviously.
and it won't go to the back of the property.
That's what I
where
was
you have
asking.
the buffers.
Okay, then I have a question, real quickly. When we asked the question about the letters being sent out to the neighbors in the rest of the area that's been affected by this, the gentleman in the back raised his hand. Did you want to speak, sir, or you just want to make it known that you were here? And if you are, you have to, before I ask you to come to the front, you would have to come up. So,
You have
and
to
fill out a
open
card,
it
so.
Let the applicant-
I couldn't-
Oh, okay. Thank you, sir. I wasn't sure if you had something to say on this case. So with that being said, not to cut off our questions, any other questions for Saul?
MJ facility.
Anything? No? Katie, you guys good?
We were just wondering,
Go ahead.
on the plan, adjacent to this proposed storage area to the south, it says proposed
Something.
Gravel.
SMJ facility.
What is that?
Can you go back to that photo
I don't have.
of the site plan?
Should know this, but I don't know it.
I think
Yes, it's all the way across the property to the, it's all like on the fence line.
Yeah, it's around the fence line and then
What is
to
that?
the east of the fence line.
Is it
Rainbow
stormwater
Flats.
facility? Is that proposed stormwater facility? Is that what it
Yeah,
stands for?
it's a stormwater facility.
That's what,
It'll be
Okay.
part of the site plan process, but there is a stormwater management facility that will have to be put in as part of this development.
oh, okay.
Okay.
That makes sense.
So will they be able to use the back property?
No, not for storage. I mean, they'll be able to use the area that they're showing as proposed gravel
Yeah,
storage
I'm
area.
saying the back property. They won't
But-
be able to use it because they can't get to it. Will they be able to get to it with the stormwater? I mean,
No, the very back, they will not.
That's what I'm saying.
That's where the
Yeah.
stormwater facility is, yes.
Yeah, they'll be
Okay.
able, they can't get beyond that.
Right, and that's where the transitional buffer areas are, and that's where the
So
residential
really,
areas.
the place where the houses are, they'll have
There'll
nothing
be
back there
buffer.
anyways.
Right, it's going to be a
That's
permanent
correct.
buffer back
Okay.
there.
That makes sense.
Okay.
Okay.
So all the vegetation in the back will stay.
Yeah, so
Will
the
stay.
existing, all that existing,
The na-
okay.
The natural
okay.
buffer, it sounds like the natural
Yeah.
buffer would stay.
All right, well, okay.
Very good.
Thank you, sir. Any other questions from the commission? That's all? All right. Hearing none, seeing none, I do have one card. And this was in favor. And it's Mr. Raymond Suttle Jr. Please come, sir.
Thank you.
State your name and your address, please.
Good afternoon, Mr. Chairman, members of the commission. My name is Raymond Suttle, Jr. I'm an attorney with Kaufman and Knowles. My business address is 11815 Fountain Way, Suite 400, and that's in City Center. I represent the contract purchaser, W.M. Smith Contracting. With me today is Mark Smith, the principal. We first of all want to thank staff for their help going through this process. If you recall, this property housed a dog training facility and kennel, which was dilapidated. It has been demolished, so we think it's a very good reuse of the property. Mr. Smith is currently located in Hampton, and he's leasing, and his intention is to build this small contractor's office. We've reviewed the conditions. They're all acceptable to us, so we're happy to answer any questions, and we'd ask that you vote favorably to recommend to council.
Thank you, sir. Any questions for Mrs. Suttle? Or, I'm sorry, Attorney Suttle.
Thank you very much.
Hearing none, thank you very much. That was my only card, so I will close the public hearing, and the matter is now before the commission.
Chairperson Taylor,
Yes, sir.
I would like to recommend that we adopt conditional use permit 2024-0012 as presented to us for approval for council.
Chairperson Taylor, I second that.
Thank you very much. It's been moved and properly second. Any comments or questions?
I think it's a
Before we
great,
call
I just want to applaud them, because I think it's a great use of a piece of property that's been sitting fallow in Newport News. I think we need more people to step forward like that.
Thank you. Any other questions or comments? Hearing none, please call roll.
Commissioner Williams,
4.
Commissioner Shook,
4.
Commissioner Scotcho,
4.
Commissioner Dias,
4.
Commissioner Bowditch,
4.
Commissioner Woodard,
4.
Commissioner Taylor.
4.
Motion unanimous, 7-0.
Welcome to
Great,
Newport News.
congratulations, and again, yes, welcome to Newport News, Mr. Smith. And this matter will be heard. This matter will be heard by City Council February the 11th. Thank you.
Thank you.
The next item on our agenda is a special exception, and it's special exception section. Slow down. Special exception, SE Tag 2024 Tag 0006. David W. Francis, and it will be presented to us by Mrs. Zarka.
Good afternoon, Commissioners.
Good afternoon, sir.
Afternoon.
So again, this is special exception 24-0006 by applicant David Francis, who's also the owner, to construct a 2-story single-family detached dwelling on a non-conforming lot of record with less than 50 feet of frontage. The property is located at 65 Scufflefield Road and contains approximately 0.2 acres. In all directions are single-family homes and vacant parcels on property zoned R3, and then to the west is Deep Creek. The property has been zoned R3 single-family dwelling since the citywide comprehensive rezoning became effective August 1st, 1997. As you can see here, all surrounding properties are zoned R3. Section 45 TAC 3204E.2 of the zoning ordinance states that the Board of Zoning Appeals may grant a special exception to improve a non-conforming lot of record having less than 50 feet of frontage with a single-family detached dwelling, provided that it meets the following requirements. First requirement is that the single-family dwelling shall be two stories of similar design to abutting structures. This particular property is located on a street with an eclectic mix of single-family dwellings and vacant properties. The single-family homes vary in style and size, with both one-story and two-story homes. The adjacent structures are both two-story dwellings, one being of colonial style and the other of contemporary. One second. The proposed dwelling will also be a two-story structure of contemporary style. Point B, the front yard setback of the single-family dwelling shall be the average of the setbacks of existing buildings on the block, but not less than 10 feet. The front yard setback of this proposed structure will be 30 feet, which meets the 10-foot requirement. Point C is the minimum side yard setback shall be 5 feet. The proposed side yard setbacks are shown as 5 feet, meeting the 5-foot requirement. Point D, an attached or detached garage shall be provided. However, if the garage is attached, it shall be attached on the side of the dwelling and recessed 18 feet from the front of the dwelling, or attached in the rear of the dwelling. An attached two-car garage that is recessed 18 feet is proposed on this dwelling, meeting this requirement. Point E, the proposed dwelling is in harmony with the appearance of surrounding properties and does not create a harmful effect to the neighborhood. As mentioned before, the style of the existing structures along the street varies significantly. Between single-story Cape Cods and bungalows to two-story contemporary and colonial-style homes built on some of the much larger lots. The majority of the existing structures are built on crawl spaces. The proposed structure is contemporary in nature, with a second-story overhang that allows the garage to be recessed from the front of the structure. The applicant also proposes to use vinyl siding and stone veneer accents with narrow vertical windows. While the structure will not be built on a crawl space, it will blend with the varied style of the street, although on a much smaller lot. Following these points and meeting all of those points, the proposed request to construct a two-story single-family dwelling on a non-conforming 40-foot wide lot meets all applicable criteria stipulated in the zoning ordinance. Staff recommends that Planning Commission recommend to the Board of Zoning Appeals approval of special exception SC 2024-0006 for the construction of a single-family detached dwelling on a non-conforming lot of record having less than 50 feet of frontage, with 10 conditions that include: the applicant shall submit a water quality assessment with field verification of the Chesapeake Bay Preservation Area to the Department of Engineering prior to the issuance of a land disturbance permit. A land disturbance permit will be required prior to the issuance of this building permit. And a 10-foot buffer shall be required between the structure and resource protection area of the Chesapeake Bay Preservation Area, as well as 7 other of our standard conditions. And the rest of the conditions are detailed in the staff report.
Well, thank you very much. Does that complete your presentation?
Yes. It is not going to the next slide.
I was wondering, yeah, the hesitation. Thank you very much, Ms. Zucker. The matter is now before the commission. Any questions, any concerns, comments?
I have a question.
Yes, sir.
The words say an attached, detached garage shall be provided. However, the garage is attached, it shall be attached to the side of the dwelling and recessed 18 feet from the front of the dwelling. From looking at the elevations, it's more like the garage is the main facade and not to one side. Is that thought to be an allowable interpretation of the requirement?
As stated in the presentation, we did find that that particular point met the requirements. The
Okay.
design is, I haven't seen that particular design before, but yes, it does meet the
That seems, yeah,
requirements.
because it seems like the garage is underneath the
Yeah.
house, at least based on what I'm looking at.
Right.
And the majority of the front
Is the
facade
garage.
is the
Is the
garage.
garage, yeah.
Yeah, when you look at the flat elevation, that is correct, that's what comes across, but because it's recessed when you see it in 3D, you know, you've got the second
I see that there's a
story.
pillar holding the front of the second floor.
Yeah,
Yeah.
the second floor comes out in front of the rest.
Okay, that answers my question.
I have a question. Was this an original platted parcel, or was this a subdivided parcel?
As far as I can tell, it was one of the original platted parcels.
Yeah, it was platted prior to the Chesapeake Bay Act.
Yeah.
Therefore, it is a lot of record, according to our city attorney's office.
So it was not subdivided?
No, well, it was subdivided at some point in
Subdi-
the past,
yeah, but it wasn't a recent
But it
subdivision.
was not recent. It was
Not for
prior
this
to the
purpose.
Chesapeake Bay Act.
Okay.
I mean, all of the lots, you know, if you go straight down Scufflefield Road, are
Wow.
big lots. And then you have this little teeny tiny lot there.
Yep.
Yes.
Someone found. Any other questions? Any other comments? Well, let me first open the public hearing for this special exception. Having no cards on this issue, I will like to close the public hearing. And now the matter is before the commission.
Chairperson Taylor, I move that special exception number SE, TAC 2024, TAC 0006 be approved with conditions as recommended by staff.
Second. It's been moved and properly second. Last chance. Please call roll.
Commissioner Shook,
For.
Commissioner Stachel,
Against?
Commissioner Dias,
For.
Commissioner Bowditch,
Against.
Commissioner Woodard,
For.
Commissioner Williams,
For.
Commissioner Taylor.
For.
Motion carries 5-2.
This special exception will be heard by Zoning Appeals, Board of Zoning Appeals on February 18th, 2025. With that being said, that completes our items that we had before us. The next item we have on our agenda is the Executive Secretary report. That will be presented by Ms. McAllister.
Good afternoon and Happy New Year to all those I have not seen. January the 14th, which was last night, City Council approved the conditional use permit for the Auto Bell Car Wash at 13698 Warwick Boulevard. Planning Commission on February the 5th will hear two cases. One is a change of zoning from R4 to R7 for a 6.2 acre property comprised of parcels 628 and 634 Old Fort Eustis Boulevard. And the conditional use permit for another car wash at the shopping center at Mercury and Jefferson Avenue, where the Roses is. It'll be one of the out parcels, 6102 Jefferson Avenue.
So that's a new build.
It's a new build.
Where?
On the corner of
Where
Mercury.
P.F. Chang's is?
Yeah. On Mercury and Jefferson.
Not PF
And
Chang's.
Express.
Chinese restaurant.
You mean where
Panda
Panda
Express.
Express is?
Panda Express. I mean, Panda, yeah.
Yeah, Panda
Panda
Express.
Express.
Where they gonna have a car wash there?
Like, where's
Still, it's
PFJ?
still tight.
PF Chain is a little further up Jefferson.
It's
It'd
still
be a-
tight.
It'd be a
It
stretch.
is.
However, that's next month, y'all.
That'd be a long car wash. You get your car washed and dry by the
And
time
dry.
you get out. You get Jeff PF Chain.
It's next month, y'all. It's next month. It's
What
next
is
month.
it? Panda Express.
Express.
Okay,
Yeah.
Panda Express.
Between where?
Hey, Grub-
Between the McDonald's
and
and the
Panda
Panda
Express.
Express.
Just drive up Jefferson.
I know, I know where it is. I'm like,
So it's not-
okay, that's gonna be interesting, because
Yeah.
there's another
Next
one
month.
that's being
Next
built
month.
right there on the
Next
Hampton
month.
side.
Next month.
Okay, I'm sorry.
Next month.
Yes, we're
Next
not
month.
discussing it today.
Yeah, next
I'm
month,
just
y'all.
alerting you that it will be coming.
Yes, I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
Two commissions need to get together.
I'm sorry. My mind just started racing on that. Okay.
Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
Before I leave, I want to thank you for stepping through the road.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Okay. And also in March, we have a major rezoning coming forward. That's for the Enview property. That's on March 5th. Wanted to know whether or not you all would want a possible work session prior to that.
To
Yeah.
go,
Was
Enview.
in view. Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes.
From the chairman's desk. Yes.
All right, okay. We will have a work session. And also wanted to let you know that Peak Child Development Center down at the old Ridley site, 16th and Jefferson, will have a ribbon cutting tomorrow at 1 p.m. if you all would like to attend.
Yes. I have nothing else on my calendar.
Thinking you might be able to make it. And that is all I have.
Are you done?
No, I'm not. I'm just gonna rub it
But
in.
I'd like to congratulate our new chairman and vice chair
Well, thank you so
on their
very much.
re-election.
Well, thank you so very much, and we look forward to continuously learning and getting better every day. Any committee reports? Any unfinished business? Hearing none, seeing none. Any new business? Oh, I do have to get with support staff to talk about our assignments and for the upcoming committees. Any other new business? Hearing none, I will declare this meeting adjourned.